Welcome to our exploration of the 10 greatest historical events that never happened. In this video, we'll dive into fascinating alternate histories that could have dramatically altered the course of our world. Imagine a reality where the Library of Alexandria never burned, or where the moon landing was a hoax that went undiscovered. Each of these hypothetical scenarios invites us to ponder the implications of what might have been. As we journey through these intriguing possibilities, we'll not only examine the events themselves, but also discuss their potential impact on society, culture, and technology. This thought-provoking exploration will challenge your understanding of history and inspire you to think critically about the choices that shape our lives. So, buckle up as we embark on this captivating adventure through time, where we'll uncover the stories of events that never took place, but could have changed everything. Get ready to rethink history as we know it. If Adolf Hitler had survived the numerous assassination attempts during World War II, the implications could have been profound and far-reaching. The most immediate effect might have been a shift in the war's outcome. With Hitler's continued leadership, the Nazi regime could have maintained its strategic direction, potentially prolonging the conflict and leading to even greater devastation across Europe. In a post-war scenario, Europe might have faced a very different landscape. A surviving Hitler could have influenced the formation of a more resilient Axis power, complicating the emergence of the Cold War. Instead of a divided Europe under the influence of the United States and the Soviet Union, we might have seen a more fragmented continent, with lingering fascist ideologies challenging democratic governance. Globally, the survival of Hitler could have altered political alliances and power dynamics, reshaping international relations for decades. The ripple effects of such a scenario would undoubtedly leave a lasting mark on history, changing the trajectory of nations and ideologies worldwide. If the Apollo moon landing had been revealed as a hoax, the consequences would have been staggering. First and foremost, public trust in government institutions would likely have plummeted. The revelation could have sparked widespread skepticism, not only about space exploration but also about other scientific endeavors, leading to a culture of distrust that permeates various aspects of society. In terms of the space race, the fallout would have been significant. The United States and the Soviet Union were already in fierce competition, and a hoax revelation could have emboldened the Soviets, potentially leading to an escalation in their space efforts. This might have delayed or even derailed future missions, as both nations would have been forced to reassess their strategies and credibility. Technological advancements could also have taken a hit. The momentum generated by the Apollo program spurred innovations in various fields. Without the moon landing as a catalyst, progress in aerospace technology, telecommunications, and even computing might have stagnated, altering the course of modern technology as we know it. If the American Civil War had been averted, the implications for the nation and the world could have been profound. Slavery might have persisted longer, delaying the eventual emancipation of enslaved people and the civil rights advancements that followed. Without the war's moral and political upheaval, the fight for equality could have been stunted, leading to a more gradual and potentially less impactful struggle for civil rights in the United States. In terms of American unity and identity, avoiding the Civil War might have resulted in a more fragmented nation, with regional tensions simmering beneath the surface. The lack of a unifying conflict could have hindered the development of a cohesive national identity, leaving the country divided along economic and cultural lines. Globally, the absence of the Civil War could have influenced movements for freedom and democracy elsewhere. The United States served as a symbol of liberty, and its struggles often inspired other nations. Without the Civil War, the ripple effects on global movements for freedom might have been diminished, altering the course of history worldwide. If the Berlin Wall had never fallen, the ramifications for Germany and Europe would have been significant. The continued division of East and West Germany would likely have entrenched a stark contrast in political ideologies, economic systems, and social structures. East Germany might have remained a satellite state of the Soviet Union, stifling the potential for democratic reforms and economic growth that a unified Germany eventually experienced. The impact on European integration would also be profound. The European Union's expansion and the push for a more unified Europe could have faced major setbacks, as the division would create a barrier to cooperation and collaboration among nations. NATO's role might have shifted as well, with a more pronounced focus on containing Soviet influence in Eastern Europe, potentially leading to heightened tensions. On a global scale, the absence of the Berlin Wall's fall could have altered geopolitics significantly. The end of the Cold War might have been delayed, affecting US-Russia relations and the dynamics of international alliances, ultimately reshaping the world order as we know it today. If the internet had never been created, the world would be vastly different in numerous ways. Communication would remain largely reliant on traditional methods such as postal services, landline phones, and face-to-face interactions. This would slow down the exchange of ideas and information, making it more challenging for people to connect across distances. In terms of commerce, businesses would operate on a much smaller scale, relying on physical storefronts and local markets. E-commerce, as we know it, would be non-existent, limiting consumer choices and hindering economic growth. Culturally, the absence of the internet would stifle the rapid sharing of art, music, and ideas, leading to a more fragmented cultural landscape. Globalization would be significantly hampered, as access to information and international collaboration would be limited. Social interactions would also change dramatically, relationships would be more localized, and the ability to form connections with people from diverse backgrounds would be restricted. Overall, a world without the internet would be less interconnected, less informed, and less dynamic. If the Roman Empire had continued to thrive, the trajectory of European history would have been dramatically altered. The stability and infrastructure provided by a lasting empire could have fostered a more unified Europe, potentially preventing the fragmentation into feudal states that characterized the Middle Ages. This continuity might have accelerated advancements in trade, technology, and culture across the continent. The implications for language, law, and governance would also be significant. Latin could have remained the dominant language, influencing the development of modern languages and limiting the rise of regional dialects. Roman legal principles would likely have continued to shape legal systems, promoting a more standardized approach to governance and civil rights. Furthermore, the spread of Christianity could have taken a different path. With the empire's support, Christianity might have become even more deeply entrenched in Roman culture, potentially overshadowing other belief systems. This could have led to a more homogeneous religious landscape in Europe, impacting the development of religious thought and interfaith relations for centuries to come. If the Great Depression had never occurred, the global economic landscape would likely be vastly different. Economies around the world might have continued to grow, leading to increased prosperity and stability. This sustained economic health could have strengthened social structures, reducing poverty rates and improving living standards for many, potentially leading to a more equitable society. The implications for World War II would also be significant. Without the economic turmoil of the 1930s, the rise of extremist political movements, such as Nazism in Germany, might have been less pronounced. This could have resulted in a different geopolitical landscape, possibly averting the war altogether or altering its scale and impact. Moreover, the trajectory of modern capitalism would likely have shifted. The lessons learned from the Great Depression, which led to regulatory reforms and the establishment of social safety nets, might not have been implemented. This could have resulted in a more laissez-faire approach to economics, influencing how capitalism evolved and how governments interact with markets in the decades to come. If Christopher Columbus had never discovered America, the consequences for indigenous populations and cultures would be profound. Many Native American societies might have continued to thrive without the immediate threat of European colonization, allowing their cultures, languages, and traditions to develop independently. This could have preserved diverse civilizations and ecosystems that were drastically altered by European contact. The implications for European colonization and trade would also be significant. Without the discovery of America, European powers might have focused their expansion efforts elsewhere, potentially intensifying competition in Africa or Asia. The lucrative trade routes established later could have shifted, altering the dynamics of global commerce and the flow of goods, including precious metals and spices. Moreover, the course of world history would likely change dramatically. the absence of American colonies would impact the rise of European powers, the transatlantic slave trade, and the eventual emergence of the United States as a global superpower. This delay could have led to a different balance of power, reshaping international relations for centuries to come. In this video, we explored 10 fascinating historical events that never happened, and their potential implications on our world today. From the survival of Adolf Hitler to the delayed discovery of America, each scenario invites us to reflect on how pivotal moments shape our societies, cultures, and global dynamics. We discuss the impact on everything from civil rights and technological advancements to the balance of power in international relations. The key takeaway is that history is not just a series of events, it's a complex web of choices and consequences that continue to influence our lives. Understanding these alternate histories encourages us to appreciate the significance of the past and its role in shaping our present and future. If you enjoyed this thought-provoking journey through time, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and sharing it with friends. Your support helps us create more engaging content that dives deep into the fascinating world of history and its many possibilities. Thank you for watching.